Hey everybody, what's up? This is Eric. I'm here with BGR Fab again. I'm in my friend's shop. He's been very kind and letting me work here. He's actually helped me out with a couple of jobs as well, which is really cool of him. So hopefully if everything works out, I'll be able to do more work with him and maybe do some work on my own with this stuff. I really like metalworking, but today we're gonna go over a tip about metalworking in general, fabrication of course. So I learned something new working with him. Some of you guys may already know this, some of you may not, so I'm going to share it with you. It's about saws and how to cut metal. I pretty much grew up using angle grinders, and for most of my metalworking, especially when I was in Chile, I used angle grinders to do pretty much everything with cutting. But when I came back, I had one brief episode of 15 minutes with a pro or 5 minutes with a pro. I don't remember. I don't even remember what my show was called. But Max Gramillion from Pool Pal came on. I do remember who was on. He did a great job of helping me understand, and you guys understand, what the basic tools you need to get started with are. And one of the things he mentioned was the bandsaw, a portable bandsaw. And I completely agree with him on that. Bandsaws are absolutely a great tool to have around. They're great because they don't cause a lot of sparks, you don't have heat, you don't have peppering of cars or things in your area. It's a lot cleaner, and you know the blades last longer than cutoff wheels do. So yeah, I think they're really good. Now here in the shop I'm also using a bandsaw. I'm using my friend's corded Milwaukee bandsaw, which by the way I really like. I really dig my Makita that's cordless that I have, but this thing here has more power, which is typical when you're using a corded over a cordless. Just keep that in mind. The battery, you're not constantly having to charge it and all that stuff. Now, the cords can get in the way, and that's a bit of a problem. But I mean, overall, the thing is just really nice. It's easy to manage, and once again, you don't get all these sparks and all this dust and stuff peppering everything, these hot sparks flying through everywhere. And it's safer for your eyes too. That's another thing to keep in mind in comparison to the angle grinder. That's not to say that I don't use angle grinders. I do use cutoff wheels on angle grinders. I just like to use this when I can. But that brings me to something else that I learned about. Now, this here is a metal cutting saw. It's also Milwaukee. And the cool thing about it is it's not a friction blade. It is a carbide tooth blade, and this thing cuts through sheets of metal. I mean, I've cut 3/16 blade, I've cut 1/4 inch, I've cut 3/8. I've cut quite a bit on this saw, and it just cuts through it. Now you do have some sparks, and it does throw chunks that are not as small as what you get off of an angle grinder, but they're chunks that it will throw around. But because of all of the guard on it that it has, and as you saw, I mean, this thing is like completely enclosed. You don't really get much fly out on it. And so this thing is really cool. And the other thing is that just like a circular saw, typically for woodworking or whatever, you have a little guide down here. You have like your little notch to guide you and everything. And you can actually cut pretty straight with these things. I was really impressed. So that's two of the saws that I've been using here that I really like. And then he's also got this DeWalt over here, which is another carbon tooth. And this saw here is basically like a chop saw. I mean, technically it is a chop saw, I guess. It's just not a friction chop saw. This one also is a carbide tooth blade, and he's had this blade on here, if I remember correctly, around a year. So, I mean, this thing has been around for a while. And there's some teeth missing, but it's still cutting strong, man. I mean, it is cutting really well. I'm really stoked about using these tools. I'm really glad that he's letting me use them and letting me learn about them and all that kind of stuff. So I hope these tools give you an idea of what you might want to get for your shop. I mean, they do have limits. I'll go over each one of these individually later and let you know about their limits and what makes them good, what makes them bad, and all that kind of stuff. But this is just a quick overview of what I've got going on. So I want to thank you guys once again for stopping by the show. I hope you found this interesting and insightful, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you feel so inclined, you can always support me, because I could really use the support right now. I'm out of work and I'm trying to make the videos work and I'm trying to find work and everything like that. So run on over and get yourself a BGRFab.com shirt and support the show. Thanks guys. Talk to you later.